Okay, now another sort of layer of the onion that we're peeling back exists here in our School of Social Sciences, and these are some alternative pathways that you might not have considered. So please make welcome Dr. Sheridan Linnell and Penny Gardner, who are going to talk to you about a range of pathways. They're looking at counselling pathways and I think the Masters of Art Therapy. And they also will be doing a workshop this afternoon, so this is just like a big picture overview of the sorts of things that they'll be covering this afternoon. So please join me in making them welcome. Thanks. Right? Okay.
Yep. Thank you. Yep.
I'm Penny Gardner, and Sheridan and I are part of the therapy
Team. Therapy
studies.
Yes, therapy studies team.
And actually our connection with psychology at UWS is that we're part of a larger academic group with the Master of Clinical Psychology, led by Tanya Mead. So the School of Social Sciences and Psychology in this way recognises that the practices and professions of psychology, counselling and art therapy, while distinct from each other, also have a certain complementarity and a certain relationship with each other. So hopefully that will become clear as we go on with our explanation. And it's a pleasure to be with you today. Congratulations on giving your time to come out on such a beautiful sunny day in the middle of your semester break. It shows a great deal of dedication to your future career.
So I'm going to start and just do a very brief overview of the Graduate Diploma in Counselling. And you'll understand why I'm talking first, because it links into the Master of Art Therapy as well. It's a 2-year graduate diploma. It's part-time. It's accredited by the Psychotherapy and Counselling Federation of Australia. It is largely an experiential course. If you come from your psychology degree, you will be bringing a whole lot of knowledge about human nature and personality and various other things that will get enriched in this course as well. We cover those sorts of aspects, but the experiential side of things is critical to this course. We will require you to find a balance between the academic and the personal. We teach an interpersonal counselling style, and the focus really is on the therapeutic relationship. Many of you will know that the therapeutic relationship is seen as the most important factor across any range of style of therapy that you use. So the main tool for counsellors is their self, and so that's why we ask you to develop self-awareness and be prepared to sort of encounter self in our course. So we welcome people with life experiences, because that also enriches your understanding of human beings. So we also very much welcome mature age students into our course. We interview, so to sort of see what sort of qualities you bring and just make sure there's a fit between you and us. I wasn't going to talk for very long because we've only got 15 minutes between us, and we really hope that you'll come along and get to know more about the course in our workshop this afternoon. Anything I've left out there? Because I wanted to leave lots of room for you.
Well, thank you, Penny. Why don't you chime in if you think of anything while I'm talking? Yeah, so everything that Penny said also pertains to the Master of Art Therapy at UWS. I know that the emphasis today is on careers, and I'd also like to use another word, the word vocation. And I suppose why I'm using the word vocation is that it has in its etymology the sense of a calling. And I imagine that some of you were attracted to studying psychology because of a sense of being called to work with people who are in distress, people who have experienced social justice, people who, for various reasons to do with their early life, family, struggles in their cultures of origin, things that have happened to them that were no fault of their own, have come to the attention of what's broadly called the helping profession. And sometimes people, during their psychology training, are really very intent on wanting to get in and work with clients. But I know that in the scientific and very careful preparation that psychology gives you, that's delayed for quite a long time, for reasons that I think are very understandable given the nature of psychology training and the nature of psychology practice. In counselling and art therapy, it's a little different, because what we're offering training to people from any undergraduate background at postgraduate level. And so when you enrol in the Graduate Diploma of Counselling or the Master of Art Therapy, you quite quickly are learning to work with yourself, with each other, and then with clients. Basically in a program of either 2 years part-time for counselling or 2 years full-time through to 4 years part-time for art therapy. So there is a difference, and probably those of you who are attracted to the counselling field or perhaps to art therapy already know who you are. I suppose the distinct thing about art therapy practice is that one is expected to have some kind of practice. I hesitate to use the word artist because that's rather an exclusive word, but some kind of relationship with an art or an art practice, or some kind of understanding or hankering after that enables you to draw on your own experience of art making and how that might be therapeutic for you to extend that benefit to others. And so for the Master of Art Therapy, one needs to have some kind of visual arts training or a very well-developed visual arts practice. I won't go through all the criteria because that's probably a little bit boring and you can read it online. But basically you come to us with your portfolio and you talk about what art making has meant for you so that we with you can make a decision about your readiness to extend that through training to working with others. We're very, very lucky to have Penny Gardner and the team of counselling lecturers and tutors teaching art therapy students how to be with people in an interpersonal way, because that's fundamental to any approach to counselling and psychotherapy, including art therapy. We additionally, in the first year of training, teach you about the histories and practices of art therapy in particular, invite you into exploring your artist self, your professional self, through experiential art making in groups with other students. And we also have in our second year a 40 credit point research component that is focused on theories of difference and diversity and on being critical and creative in research into art therapy. That's kind of an overview of the course. It has an equal sort of emphasis on the experiential, the clinical and the theoretical. People say it's fun, but because art is fun doesn't mean it isn't also deeply challenging. I think that depth and pleasure are things that can be reconciled with each other. But of course, as an art therapist, one is often referred and is working with people for whom words are not immediately available because something is unbearable, unthinkable, or they are so marginalised that they lack the immediate capacity to communicate verbally. So we're often working with people in aged care, with very young children. My own background is extensively working with people who've been sexually abused in childhood. And I was attracted to art therapy because I found that quite often my clients could not put things into words, either because those things felt to them so shameful, or they'd been told that if they told anybody, dreadful things would happen to them or other people, and yet could express things through art and then later be able to put them into words. So we offer both the capacity to apprehend things through art in that as-if space, that metaphorical space of art making, and then to explore them in the presence of a therapist where there's a really secure base where attachment can be revised and reworked and established and where people can come to terms with whatever has been affecting them and hopefully live a richer life. So the rest of it you can read about, or you can come and talk to us in our little workshop. Half an hour is very short for a workshop. We're used to having about 3 hours in art therapy, but I promise not to keep you any longer than half an hour. And if you're torn between, gee, do I go and listen to more from the APS because that's my main thing, or do I go and listen to these alternatives? Look, just make contact with us. We'll have a chat. Come along to the Postgraduate Expo. I think it's on Saturday the 18th of October. Have another chat to us then. So you don't have to choose now. You've worked hard, and in some ways, I guess the world is your oyster. Thank you.
I was also going to say you can also make contact with us via email.
Absolutely.
Just before Sheridan and Penny go, a number of people have just said to me, could they reiterate how the entry into the counselling pathway or the Masters of Art Therapy?
You want to start?
So how would you did say that you needed an undergraduate degree. If you could just spend maybe a couple of seconds on that pathway.
That would be wonderful.
So an undergraduate degree enables you to apply through UAC. You also have to supply a letter saying what makes you attracted to counselling, your CV, any listing of volunteer work that you currently do, and then you will get invited into the interview.
And for art therapy, you again need an undergraduate degree or higher, actually, because there are some people who've done master's programs without having undergraduate. You need to present a portfolio of 8 to 10 images of your own artwork, a CV detailing at least 1 year of either full-time or regular part-time relevant work experience. Doesn't have to be in the arts, more in the field of some kind of helping role or support role, just so that we know you've had that real life experience of sitting with someone and realise the difficulties. Detail your visual arts training, and then you put in a statement, an artist statement and statement of intent about why you want to do the course, and then on the basis of all that you will probably get invited to an interview, and that interview, it's a group process. We look at your artwork, we invite you into a conversation, and we try to make it as friendly as possible. We do have to rank applicants because places can be limited, as counselling and art therapy at UWS are both getting to be extremely popular courses. Yeah. Is that it? I think that's probably it.
Yes. No. Sheridan, I was just checking, Sheridan and Penny will be around during the lunchtime if you'd like to have a one-to-one with them, and of course that workshop will be on this afternoon. Another avenue, and these people couldn't be here today, so apologies from them, is over on Penrith campus, the Kingswood campus. We have the Golden Stave Institute, which is for music therapy. And they said that there also is a pathway through that. So if you have a background in music, or you might consider that pathway. So I will be putting up, when we do the hub site, Danielle, and all the links, I'll be putting up links to them because they're very keen to be involved today but couldn't be here.